Welcome to this week's edition of Coffee with the Goose, where I talk about issues that are interesting, fascinating, or just plain irritating. Now, I am the Goose, and I invite your comments. Feel free to comment. I'll respond to some of them, and please subscribe so you can stay up to date. And as usual, I will start with a sip of coffee. My coffee is always strong, just like my opinion, and got a little creamer in there so it's sweet, just like me. Okay, I'm going to take on another sacred cow this week, and that is the New York Times. They're not as respectful as they used to be back in the day. I recently read a headline from the New York Times that said, "America believes jobs are the cure to poverty, but it's not, or they're not." And my first response was, really? New York Times, really? That's a stupid thing to say. Of course, jobs are the cure to poverty. You'll have bills to pay, but jobs are the key. Now, when it comes to class warfare, which we've seen for forever, don't blame the rich for being rich. And the reason people are poor is not because other people have things. And we'll just take money from the rich people, give to the poor. Eventually the poor people are still going to be poor and the rich people will still be rich because of education. 80% of millionaires earned their money. They didn't get it from their rich daddy. So it's not a matter of things just being unfair. It's a matter of people not being educated. That may hurt your feelings to say that. I'm not saying poor people are dumb. I've been poor. It's a matter of education. Now, when it comes to politics, liberals' solution to poverty is taking from the rich, giving to the poor. But as I've said, in the end, that does not work. The conservatives, they're not perfect. I tend to be a little conservative, a little liberal in some areas, but conservatives believe the solution to the problem is not taking from the rich, it's teaching poor people how to make money and save money and invest their money. That way they can become wealthy or at least self-sufficient as well. So how do you get that education? Well, college is expensive. Yeah, of course it is. But you can make it work. There are grants. You don't have to be a straight A student in high school. And even if you don't graduate from high school, you can get a GED. At college, the financial help is there. There are many grants available. And student loans. And I know people don't like student loans, but if you get your degree, you can pay it back over a period of years. So there's always help. There's no reason why you can't get a college education. A lot of it, to be honest with you, comes down to discipline. Well, I don't have time. Well, I don't have time for a lot of things, but you have to make the time and commit yourself and go to college. Just a little personal note, 3 years ago at the ripe old age of 53, I'll do my math right, 53, I decided I better get a degree. I preached to my kids, they have to get one. Well, Dad has to walk that walk too. So I'm halfway towards my bachelor's degree. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's very humbling. I'm not the genius I thought I was, but I'm doing it day by day. It's a process. And eventually, well, there's a finish line that I will cross, and you can cross that finish line too. But the only way to get that degree is to start. Get a couple of classes now and work your way towards it. Tell your kids to do it too. It can be done. You don't have to be poor. It's not their fault you're poor. You can do it yourself. You can make your life better. So that's my sermon for today, and I've learned the hard way. That's the way to do it. That's this week's edition of Coffee with the Goose. If you have an opinion, please comment and I will respond. And please subscribe so you can stay up to date. All right, thanks again. We'll talk to you next week.